for week we yam president Nana Addo Acquah will make a comment be one of the radio stations emra or call the Thanksgiving tour na akofan sam de aba ye bebo awuram ne atie nsam kropoche yam president okokan ya akofa wantwi de airbai unsu betimi de wadwen kiraba video yi ekoso ya betimi so ahye ama obi nso anya bi ahye aha ye ni atem wo ha ubaso a wadwene de ye wo no na wata apia to ho obu kwan so IGP mechiao ana afi nso Nima police station fo nyina mechiao mu ye kona babusua fo nyina nso mechiao mu nyina afi yenkohwe eye asem a etie building we de din kan ba bonten ano omo ekire se eye building na omo abandon esi baabi na saa building no se nioma abamu eye owo jatane no manoma bi na eye school dan na omo si a omo ntimi ema nkoda ne mbaamu mesua ade wo mu no kofa asem de aba we enenam so ema na nadan kwakofo ado kopie eye FM so ana okọ ne Thanksgiving tour during the interview ne busa bibi fa ho a na enso make ne comment as to asem a yebusa no yentie eye video na nkasa mu asem ade kropotin a ekofa ansem we nyina ede baaye ene habo ene eye ye fele sen seaside no so omo se omo beye habo na airport na chese nsem mebre na aba manfo ede ye twabo na napa enye asem ketwa obetimati ye video no mu asem yi ne wanya abotre no analyze nioma na do comment aba me sure sen ka bebo apa ye hwe video na me ka ho asem no
we have it now. I mean, you can imagine. It has now become a farm, abandoned. People are harvesting. You see? They say snakes, bandicoots, grass cutters. And you can see public resources wasted. And students are waiting to go to school. Our schools are overcrowded. Classrooms are overcrowded.
Yeah, so far, would you say this is the worst you've seen on this trip?
Well, it is only the worst because if you look at the magnitude of work and the physical environment, it's very depressing because tiling has been done, electricals have been fixed. Plans were definitely in place to work on fixtures like windows and doors. And it has been abandoned. And we are being told that the last time a contractor showed up here was 3 years ago. And it is very clear, it's evident. Is that the best way to use public resources? Don't Ghanaians deserve better? Are we not punishing the future of this nation? Is it okay for us to have overcrowded schools when we have schools that can take in excess of 1,000 students each? Each of the eeii blocks can take in excess of 1,000 Ghanaian students. Imagine the pressure that will take off in terms of the current available educational infrastructure, struggling to contain 1.2 million students. And what does the GET Fund securitized 1.5 billion been used for? How many critical educational infrastructural projects have been completed? How many new ones have been initiated? How much of the monies have been used? Is it the case that the state needs more money? And if so, shouldn't there be accountability for us to know? This is the number that we've been able to do. We are falling short. And perhaps because of the increase in the price of building materials. We are all aware of the inadequacy of infrastructure, which is why the obnoxious double track system was introduced. So when we have structures like this, 90% complete at an original cost of 9 million Ghana cedis, and yet we cannot complete it for students to have access to education, for classroom sizes to be reduced, for communities to have hope that their wards are going to benefit from the free senior high school. Clearly, we cannot forgive government. Because the $1.5 million that Get Fund was securitized to obtain was supposed to help complete what they themselves described as essential educational infrastructure. And they indicated in their memo to Parliament that this was to address the increased number of students who have come on stream as a result of the coming into being of the free senior school policy. So why is this here? Is it that we don't have the money? What have they done with the $1.5 billion that we securitized Get Fund for? Is it not time that they come to Parliament to account to us how many of the critical educational infrastructure they have completed, so that we know that there is value for money? In a community such as this, which doesn't even have a secondary school, Aflao, is it fair?
I am disappointed. I'm at a loss as to what I have to say. Because if you know that your predecessor has invested public funds, why do you abandon the project? Is it hatred for the people or it is love? This one is complete hatred.
Yeah.
Okay, eti abusiafo utie nsɛm a ɛyɛ ɔmudi tu dwa ɛwɔ Aflao ɛyɛ e-blog hɔ na ano ɔden, because building no almost here, so sometimes how many ade kwanti ɔmo fɛ na abandon na say yɛ de public funds akɔyɛ bibi na aban na ɔwɔ so no afiri so kɔ na foforo aba na ɔmo ntimi nyusu mentimi nti saa nsɛm na se mpacho wɔ ni ho ansa obetimi de aba wan pacho because mentimi nti ase sɛ ɛyɛ den na saa de ni timi si, because ever say me si dan na me de ama Mason say Mason si mi dan ma me matua ho ka awi na Mason si dan na se mawu a ade nti na wo so ogya dan ni si because mawu we say the public funds sika akwaya o sika omba 1.5 billion ano ɔden dollars o e de aye project here we 90% complete na nkora bi abobɔ so e wo kuro bi so a ɔmo ntimi enko school ne double track na ho ahwan wa bra school dan 90% complete. Said the news ETA mentimi ase se edie nti na ɔmo ntimi news e ba na sa na ma questions aba asɛm no ho mebre se adan nti na mo ntimi news ɛno na nam so ɛma ɔhene a wo kuro so e ba abɔnten e be kasa aye e be kyerɛ na adwene sɛ ɔmo up to February ɔmo mbra na ɔmo bɛyɛ saa de we mfɛn sɛ ɔmo tam famfiri ho mfanko, because ade ne ɛde nkra ne nkrama ne jata ne sebɔ ne ɔwɔ ɛba de kuro no so ɛdan nso yɛ awie, so ɔnte asie sɛ saa de konda so si wɔ wabra yɛntimi ɛnyɛ den ɛmfixing famfiri yɛnti asɛm a ɛyɛ ɔhene ɛde tu dwa ɛmra na ɔtoto na no ɛde tie ɛyɛ nsɛmtrɔyɛ ɛfoɔ
school we bɛba ha no me na medi nsangu form asana school we ba ha be 5 years ni ana 6 years ni school no ba ha no school fe we egiramwa eni ekusie eni akoko na omuko school wa ha nipa anko school ajamwa eni kusie eni preko eni omuko school mimpe o this year mi pese un be bie school no mame echi ekura nu gu ewurem ho a mu ya nipa ya school fe we ena omu ko school ka chere mu se mi school we this year se mo ma mi pren o enya de me pren da enti mi srem
omo mbe ya ede na obe ya
yes ha un be fa school no ko on be pa jako na mi fa asase nu kwa o mu ntua mika o mu ntua mika o mu be fa school nu ko mi sremu mi ni abre papa twi no meet me ka papa enti mi sremu mi pesa agramu abe ko school wo mi sase nu su mi penipa ni ko ne as ekura no a mi wo no eye ekura kese mami.
Okay, eti sem say eno ohene no so ede betu dwa efa school na omagyae ewo nwuram no ho na ode asem no ebeto ho no wei ene yem president ekopie eye FM so a na odi nkomo efa ne thank you to a oye ye ho ɛna ɛyɛ host a ɔte edwa mu ebusa no question ɛfa saa asɛm yi a ɔhene ɛne nkɔfoɔ ɛka sɛ suku ɛwɔ Aflao e block yɛ gya esi baabi na ɔnkɔyɛ ho hwee no ɛyɛ ntie ɛyɛ reply a ɛyɛ yɛn president ɛde maayɛ na yɛhwɛ wei ɛna akɔfa atemdidie ne amanfo twabɔ no ne ade bɛkye ne baahye ne ha ade bɛkye ne asɔ ha ade bɛkye ne asɔ ha na menim nso bɛfa ne sɛn sɛ na ɛkan didi agoro anaasɛ no wɔfa ne sɛn because me a meti ha yi a menyɛ president me ka asɛm bi de akyɛm very important pa me a meti ha yi menyɛ president ɛso me ka kyerɛ mo sɛ even me ka asɛm na ma no patre me na me kɔ ka asɛm a eni kwan sɛ me ka nkɔfoɔ timi fa saa asɛm no nko a na ɔmo de against me because ma ka asɛm mo pɛ no kora mfom so kɛkɛ ɛde atia me enti president deɛ before abɛkasa no obi wo opponent kora pɛ wa no kasa ɛde ayɛ story kɛseɛ kora de atia wo enti menim sinana hyɛ da ka ɛbia ɔde yɛ agrodie jovial bi anaasɛ na ɛyɛ ni bere sɛm de a ɛno de menim nso betimi de wɔn so adwen kyerɛ aba afa saa asɛm we ho yɛntie deɛ president ka yɛ mmra ebusa no ɛyɛ ɔhene no ɛsɛ wama no ultimatum sɛ by February de ɔmbɛbie ɛyɛ yinima no na ɔmbɛyɛ n'adwuma wanka ɛyɛ month ne deɛ but ɛyɛ host ne ka so sɛ February ɛna ɔmbɛbie etienti deɛ president so kan
many of them I think I'll find an opportunity to send you that many of them are being worked on across the country.
Let me just take one, Mr. President. The one in Aflao where the chief himself has complained. On here, Aflao patch say e-block no oba yenya hoshi. Inti my education minister up to February say ombe yehu bibi. It's an say
no minister alternator.
Also abre.
And you go here.
Inti obisa no there abeka ebi out of frustration ebi okasa.
When biaso yeah boabo ye as much as possible. I've given you these examples to let you see that on the contrary, despite the propaganda, because one of the things that I suspect there's a deficit on our part is our ability to counter the propaganda. The propaganda takes over the reality of so many aspects of our national life. It's a pity, but we will.
Okay. Eti Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo reply a ode ema eye omo eno no minim oso hu ni say propaganda bi eno omo ye na ne first eye free na no buy a wo say ene onko ye ho ne nkofo akate ni say Nana Addo amachiki ansa eti minim de wo so wadwene eye wo fa saa asem hu ba me hu say president de ensem bi wo ho na wo be kan to abonten no wanye careful a anhwe anan nkofo ayusu ade atiawo minim say na bre no wabre anase bibisa no ma sa comment ne there I have no idea but how we see can asem ne there many onu mumu dia nka metimi aka say we one of the propagandas are omo we will fix it and then we are fixing it na what twa so tie bet oka say ono na oma education minister say February ombra mbeye eni wonko ye ene nkofo kate ho no na omo ede ekun editia ono ankasa Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo yem president we asem a abetowa na week ya ba hye ne pa manka na meboa we nam so ma kepu kosufo so aba abonten omo so mesi abonten awro omo ho eto omo to ase de agu aban no so ade nti aban ne be hye omo bose obesi so a obeboa ma kepu kosufo ense timi aka habo ana afi so airport President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo say onka asasem no enchire wo bia na menim ba omia ne kan asasem menim say ye resoma no so mbeka anaso ono ana kogina ono kokan ye na ekofa asem abade a yenim eho hwe yenkotie asem a eye yem president ye ekan ye emra omka say eye Cape Coast for enso se mo kasem be mo anye president reply eba abonten but ba omia so eye statement will make ye emra na ono so make eye na open forum say no ye den o kan asasem no I don't know yenti de ba omia ekafa eye Cape Coast for enioma a so mo maninje so mo nsa beka no munti de okan.
And for the people of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. It is very critical that we do that. An airport makes a lot of sense in Cape Coast. It's a real tourist hub, and between Greater Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast, you have a triangle that really is a lot of hub of economic activity. You can build railway lines between them, and it's a major growth pole if we put an airport here to drive infrastructure growth.
So as far as the harbor, we have to be very clear in our mind. We never commit.
Okay, eti utie asemo a ye Baumia eka ya ye vice president eka ya. Nana Dankwa Akufo Addo nso edi bi eto so. Pese wa babonten a wo kire say asemo a eye Cape Coast fo e demande. Se omu hia harbor ese hia airport. Ye president say opachew onu obi anhye sa abo no. Inti do kan.
Let me just confess it. I made a mistake.
You did?
Yeah, I made a mistake. In looking at the manifesto, and I tried to do that before I go. I saw one page which talked about a landing site. I didn't go further to see. But in any event, even with the mistake, I think still we have to rethink a lot of things. We can't have a harbor in Elmina. We have a harbor in Elmina, which is being developed right now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Takrady, Elmina. Then we have another one projected for Cape Coast before we go further down the road. I think some rethinking has to go on for us to be able to find what is the value for money arrangements that were. But it was a mistake, and I have to apologize to the people of Cape Coast and the Central Region for that mistake.
Okay, Etienne President say opachew. Enya dia some na okan ye no oye mistake no ye say campaign mu anumudwa enu binu no na say esiye say de Agyaku me kai say Agyaku kura kan bi mere bi say enipa wo ho a menhye bo enti Nana Addo kwohye bo a wo so opachew no Cape Coast for say ye ntiase emfama Nana Addo e ma ne nhye saa ebo no emfa nkyere ye because say wakan de no kwa de wo say oye e de ma ye ne Cape Coast for we enenam so ma Cape Coast fo binom so aka omo abu mo kire say omo be ye oye kire e de a kire oman no especially yem president e won tro a wabehye wo mo e fa eye Cape Coast enumdwa eye Baumia vice e bidwa de kire wo mo say omo mutirimunye omo de na say ni say e no mo ba benya e wo sa kuru no so no a fe de president aba watena se a wo say ansem omo kan e nyina no e omo de chopa e ma Cape Coast fo e omo nyintum na omumfo omubone emfanche omo niente the Cape Coast so ele tuja.
I don't understand the apology. What he's saying, I don't understand it. Is he apologizing that he lied on Eagle FM, or is apologizing that he's no longer going to build a harbor for us? You see, and what we have at Elmina is not a harbor that he promised Cape Coast. What Nana Addo has done, Nana Addo has told people of Cape Coast that we should all start crying. He has told that the Cape Coast, our father has died, our mother has died. So what we have Cape Coast now is funeral. So from tomorrow, we Cape Coasters, we are going to put on black. We are going to mourn Nana Addo. We are going to put on black because he has deceived us. And we are demanding, we the youth of Cape Coast, we are demanding our harbor and the airport that he promised because it is in his manifesto.
The moment pyramid crying Bahumia, Nesam can. Bahumia, you want a cassette with her. Well, bo, there you go. Or will be there, Osman Nuhu Sharubutu. Or your harbor, no, on your airport. No, then ye, and a President Nana Addo. And Nancy Obela, now Bakache, the man, never discipline airport dam, and no one could be see harbor man. I'm a big teach mention the menu to chat, menu to.
Okay, etiabusha for utia Cape Coast for say nya de o media tum Nana Akufo Addo and the vice president omupom mesia mo Brady Jankopon e made bi so de omo ho agim say asemo Nana Akufo Addo abetu dwa no omo so omo nsom e ma no so ani abre na otum se central ho no ano ay den
Akufo Addo ntumi nsi airport no we krom ha mo Akufo Addo abadaga hen obesi na akoshi Akufo Addo onye nyimpa bia fa manye ne guafo because omuyen brother Akufo Addo omuyen kitikitimpo sa Akufo Addo buhena nto aka da obesa ma hen nko ba ba ka te so do baby wanya she afa ma hen ebe say, my family kakra po, one school fee di numpo ayasam. Airport bi amba Cape Coast ya. But I'm there Nana Addo. Say when you minutes now, oya Nana Addo bedisika. Cape Coast na numpo tumuba. Obejina Cape Coast University. Yan ehi na numpo omba no wo. Inti aba airport no bebe si Cape Coast all involve ya ha ehi numpo. Inti so opedo ye bibia anke Cape Coast ehi numpo. Itumuba abaka UCC Cape Coast kron mpo ne yehu de president mpo aba another young festival mpo aba no abaka de obe dam airport nti onya no kwanala na Addo ombu Cape Coasters ombu yan kitikiti mpo ne asam na kan oya political talk nti na wakan de politics owe yan no fi de yan well educated yan well educated papa intis yamon kra kacha nda airport plot kwen on train plot kra wa baba airport kwen wodo say the airport no be OWUSU diza oni Cape Coast fi enyim anade oba we wim za oni zi enyim baby oba airport.
If 5 years when two in single chips compound ama Ghanaians Zaire be saying that 2 years 2.5 years a work name on the bottom of the airport I'm a central regional. The extra agenda 111 why a fanfare shortcutting. After 3 months of shortcutting, go to the site. There's no project on site going on. It's a shortcutting I'm a central region for all catching and the airport. If no airport no easy. No chrome chebi from what to wesi airport amawana. Your best friend there on for Obuka Krama Central Region for.
It is some say a central for a president Nana Addo Akufo-Addo one in the vice name. Our much say I was say Nana Addo be sidi more much in China trying. And say to me say Nana Addo was a boy was with this war. A jaku can or see any power why and shabo to me say a boss should be a consumer cover problem there. But now her comment and I see a man for so say central for man for man. And I didn't yet central for man to a man. I said, project a war. A ban was so started here, and I said, a ban was so yes, so by and I said, a ban will be so for Ghana for winning. So be 2 more woes will be on to a more Indian for project. A biana mistake no yes, said they were patch on they are fine. But me can say, oh man, to not say there be any fan cancer. Say now better ho. Now, we announced one almost added to us all LGBTQ. Ebusan and one sem far. Eye on one kasa adwene eye no na manfo bi susu say was Nana Addo kasa me ankasa me kasa die because of me Christian values ntino me say na me de me person ka eye no but Ghana for indecide sana nkofo adwene eye omo Nana Addo antimi anka ne sentiment no so bash ya koso a enya asem ketwa yentire ye president ekan
TQI++++. Any thoughts on it?
It's in the parliament. It's in the parliament. It's a private member's bill.
Yeah.
We've been fighting for for a long time, the opportunity for private members also to sponsor bills in Parliament. I believe this is the first that is being sponsored under this opening that has been given. The Parliament is looking at it, and let's see how the process develops.
Do you feel pressured with the discussions going around?
No, I can't feel pressured. We're talking about public opinion. We're talking about legitimate processes that are being used. What I would hope for is that the debate itself would be civil, and that we would recognize the need for us to be tolerant and of each other, even when there are opposing views. I was, for instance, impressed by the intervention of some very renowned and well-positioned people within the civil society sectors of our country coming forward to express their views on the matter. I think that it will be a credit to Ghanaian democracy if this matter is handled in the correct manner. Well, now I believe a reference will be made by the bill to the Constitutional and Legal Committee, appropriately. That's the committee that looks at the issue of rights and constitutionality of legislation in our Parliament. They will work. I hear that over 130 memoranda have been submitted to them. I'm anticipating that they will all be looked at closely before they can come to some consensus. The chairman of the committee has spoken about what are his preoccupations, which I think are very legitimate, to be satisfied about the constitutionality and the legality of what is being proposed. All these are part of the mix, and I'm hoping that the process will be conducted in an acceptable manner.
Okay, etiabusiafo say any president editu dwa efa LGBTQ ho nsensem a ekoso wo say o parliament for be decide na omon kan yi na obia so nkire na adwene se de na adwene no no ankasa de wan nkire na adwene mfaso na me hu say de wo kan ni na nado ebusi na question wa yi ano oman hene se won tiase because na nado sam wo kan no wan nkire mu yi yenkotie oman hene enso reply a wode ema na nado we kwede nado wabere ya bashe ne worof
areho kakra na yam hihye kakra ye nipe ewo ho ne say I personally I am worried and disappointed in the president in his responses, 1 to the Aflao chief, 2 on LGBTQ plus, 3 on the matter of law students. If we accuse former presidents of unpresidential language, how much more the president we voted for? Yedi yeto an Brasim ebo wa mamu se bedi mu na wie peyo. It doesn't matter what a chief somewhere have said or whatever. But if he knows the frustration that some of us in our half region we are going through, the person catch and say before I can say now if he say if he say frustrated yanko to Acquah so. That's the implication and the inference.
Don't want to say atem the day.
Of course. But Edna president tray and him catch say you see Jumedia bi or baby na yes say if he say I frustrated. Yanko to Ti man pay can say wow kwan baby a anya papa bi visit it we how bia no. Kotwazo. Very unpresidential and very unpalatable.
No, but I'm not just saying that.
No, yeah, and the damn panic correcting the money, you know. They be a day, yeah, man, your magic same way, and let's take that position as a country. It doesn't matter whether it's covenant or as a pa. And now no me betina ka him for some trail. You gave me that privilege to talk about them because in seminar mo kan no na ensisu yie.
Yeah.
Omoni medru. Omo tibia bi. And you are the father of the nation. Why? Even if Aflao for in this case talking to their spokesperson or no, even if omo frustrated genuinely, what is your problem? As a father, you calm them down. Because no guts to tell the education minister, hey, President Guts in the engine I said, we don't have to worship you.
Against the
yeah. Oh, no necessary to me. Because clearly, Yama to me say, wo besiano na my yan yeshebre. Etimisisa. Na yan fa basubodi and munyama wo no party. You can't just look at our faces and tell us that if you are frustrated, this frustration matter not there, but he needs to come and apologize or withdraw it. Say to me, enya kukudro, nya hobrasie, eka se oyenipa, na no na pa on the matter of the Cape Coast matter. Mijili se na no na pa on this matter. The president can tell Ghanaians, I'm not reducing this to only Aflao because mimi krom kwan afo. The pressure on the chiefs and the members of parliament and opinion leaders and the citizens there on the coin but if we express frustration, I agree with you. If we express frustration, and the best response from the president that if you are frustrated, go and do the rules.
The president issue come now, I think, was ultimatum now. Of who's on him.
Mama, yes, I get and doesn't matter. And then when man pay a man ultimatum.
Okay.
Now, cook Robin Quamity Cato say, yeah, what may acquire my one, so I can't have my block crowing now, man paying no bit. How effective are these ultimatums? How effective? Let's not come and appreciate me and my sister because of a manual. It is Ghana. The president is ending his term 2024. If Ghana has not changed, the two of us are going to suffer. He is going to continue to enjoy his presidential package. It is not a question of what is wrong with that? Is he not going to Georgia with the chief? Chiefs are powerful instruments in our setup. They have, if not 100%, in a way, a certain power to talk to our presidents. Now, if we had no so much, no be a quote for. If they think that if test institution are relevant, you know, understand humility. The president goofed. You couldn't have said frustrated people should go and continue their project. I'm frustrated, so I'll go and continue our route. You come back as a party, say I have a phone consider. I'm frustrated because I'm crying your papa. Now, if I don't become frustrated, how would you see the urgency of the situation?
Yeah.
No, me can't na montiasie. Mon susu ni amanyo sem fo achina mon susu fa mon for amanyo sem. That's another factor. President Agyapong, LGBTQI. What's your personal opinion? That president can't for today.
One here.
Tolerance, Nana. Now, when I see all the second walk, OBOS humanity. Who said that? No, me busa who said it? Tolerance. The Speaker of Parliament, no, on your tolerance. Everybody is expressing his or her opinion. Nobody is fighting that. You see, as a man, also the couple, as you.
Now, expect his own cousin.
Yeah, I'm more responsible. My co-fan, please. Not my fan, no man. He's the father of the nation.
And the day now expecting
me expecting response of the buyer now.
Tolerance, no.
You know why are we doing this to ourselves? Why? Why in his Christian values? Because he was asked a personal question. It has nothing to do with Ghana. Ghana could be a bejiatum. Who as a person who see cathedral? Who as a person who see cathedral? And you catch us on a problem when you have to Ghana so on because you said that when the time is right, we'll have a conversation. And there is no strong advocacy. There's no strong advocacy for this. The advocacy is now. If we're not tolerant enough, obviously advocacy you better come back and forth. In the midst of being tolerant, what is your position? A lawyer of repute, revered in the world, on this matter of law school. Not present, people are sufficient faith. They say they don't have capacity. Hey, master lawyer. And I am hopeful that as our law students, they'll be so disappointed and hurt. The father of the nation talking about major issue like this. Now lawyer for Asema Ba. The other can say, they suffer same fate. Now when almost your money spaces in yeah, and you think that it is a joke?
You're called lockdown.
Mr. President, I beg to differ on this matter. I beg to differ seriously on this matter. I beg to differ.
Okay, eti ukopie mu so Adom FM eleja fire no ekoso no timi say week we dey yem president Nana Addo Akufo-Addo bash na koso pa enye asem ketwa ya bash ne kese pa you say ye the born left ya born right so betimi de won so adwen kire aba na obewie no e no mubusa no fa ye thank you to na oye no ho yentie reply a oye na manfo che say reply we de oye de ma ye dwondrama ni mahama e wo ne nkasa yi metum say Nana Addo dankwa akofo ado oye ne to ye ana say ne interview okoye no punchlines nko e be mu no enya asem ketwa
Accra 2020 was not what we had hoped for. We lost several seats here, I think 7 altogether, and did not win the majority here. But nevertheless, we had a substantial vote here. So it's important that I also thank them for the expression of confidence in us. Even people who lost the election are going around thanking people. How much more means?
Okay, ATM President na eja what to be ediama eye ya semu. Ebusiafo nsem sei ene da ho. Na dankwa akofo da Aflao building no block no ho nsem LGBTQ nso nsem obeka ye airport ne eye ye finish harbor nso ho nsem yetibia ma no part of week we no pressure etuato uso betimi de wadwen kire aba afa asem we ho me da se betimi ahye nso am obi so nya bia hwe